people, how you doing? My name is Dalton, and this is my channel. And yes, I'll say it twice. You may have to turn up the volume again, like in most of my videos, until I get my audio fixed. You may have to turn up the volume. Now, I ask you to subscribe, give any of my videos, this video, any of my videos you like, a thumbs up. And I ask you to comment respectfully, all right, and share it. Now, basically, I'm trying to make this short and sweet. A lot of people have been asking me this question, so I want to make a quick video on it. I did some reading about it, and this video is about what is a recession, because they're throwing that word around. You'll hear it on a lot of different popular YouTube channels, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Somebody got to say the word recession, but they're not telling people what a recession is. So basically, from what I was reading, recession is actually, before you panic, recession is actually natural. Okay, it's like an adjustment of the economy. All right. And let's say, for instance, when we were during the pandemic, we couldn't there weren't enough jobs, okay, because jobs were closing left and right, especially small and medium sized companies were closing left and right, okay. So it wasn't that people didn't want to work, there were no jobs because there were no business, they were closing. So all of a sudden, in order to help the economy, they gave us stimulus for one of many things they gave us. Okay, uh, where a recession is when the reason we're in a recession now, because during the pandemic, a lot of companies were given grants, and then a lot of companies, people were staying home, so a lot of companies were hiring tons of people, spending tons of money, especially on advertisements and things such as that. Uh, Once the core phase of the pandemic, yes, we still have a pandemic, but once that core phase, uh, dissolved, all right, then companies have to start making adjustments, because now there are jobs for people to have, because there are businesses that are hiring. So it's not like it was in the pandemic, okay? But also, when it comes to this adjustment that it has to make it because things are not the same that it was. So what happens is the stock market goes down. Okay, so this really, as you and I know, for instance, when it came to AIDS or anything else, uh, it never became an epidemic until it started to affect the rich and famous. Then it became an epidemic, even though technically it was an epidemic way before that. Okay, so when the stock market goes down, it affects the rich and upper middle class. I mean, it affects everybody, but especially, and it has a trickle down effect, but especially affect the rich and the upper middle class, upper echelon. All right. And it scares people. Okay. So people start saving and stop spending. Okay. And it has that trickle down effect. More people start saving and stop spending. Now, these companies are not making the same amount of revenue. So what they have to do is what you see a lot of tech companies doing. but it won't be just tech. It'll be all the way across the board. I don't care if it's McDonald's, all the way across the board. But the tech companies are doing exactly what happens in a recession: is they cut staff, they lay people off. Okay, give you give you instance. Instacart, for instance. Instacart, I used to work for them. Okay, part time. Uh, I was connected to the company. Okay, they eliminated anything dealing with part time. And most people say, well, they're retail. No, Instacart is retail slash tech. Okay, because they use a lot of technology, including retail. Okay, so you use a lot of technology as well as retail resources when it comes to Instacart. So they cut off anything. I'm talking area supervisors, anything slashed. Okay, just eliminated. Dealing with part time, they did the same thing. They did a little earlier, but they did the same thing that a lot of these tech companies are doing. Microsoft, Apple, just a lot of these tech companies. One called Snap, SNAP. Uh, Salesforce. A lot of these tech companies, uh, they're laying off. Okay, what they're doing is they're adjusting to the new normal. Okay, because things are not the way, and that is just a recession is normal. Okay, it doesn't get a good light, but it's a normal phase of economics and economy. Okay, it's almost like an evening out. Okay, because for the last 2 years, how things were, there aren't anymore, and now these companies have to adjust, and they will adjust more and more. And like I said, don't just get focused on tech companies. That's what you're seeing being hit hard right now. But it's not just tech; it's all the way across the board. Okay. Now, when people get laid off, they don't have very much money or as much money to spend. Okay, whether unemployment or not, or they're dipping into their savings, they don't have that extra money to spend. If they're not spending, then if they're not buying, then you really don't need all that workforce. Okay, and the company really don't have the amount of money to uh, run ads, like especially on social media. I mean, it really affects social media, for instance, because ad revenue goes down considerably. Okay, there's people whose ad revenues have went down to where they were getting paid, like myself, something maybe once, two times a month. You don't get paid anything for a whole 6 months. All right, if you're a small channel, I mean that's how it works because the companies are not buying ad space because they cannot afford it. They're adjusting. So, um, and also people begin to panic. That's one thing. So when people panic, they don't spend. They save, they don't spend, and then the economy kind of gets into a stalemate. All right. So then that even creates more uh, friction in a recession. Okay, than it would if they did spend. So there you go. That's a recession. Now, the quickest way to help through a recession, this is my opinion, of course, is from what I'm reading, is to give stimulus checks or to do, I believe it's called universal income. Okay, and basically, let's say if they gave a stimulus check for $1,200, right? But they'll give it out within in a 3 month span. So you get $400 the first month, $400 the second month, $400 third month. So that would increase the flow of money into economy. You get what I'm saying? That's one way they can do it to help fight off a recession. But recessions is normal, okay? And recession is not all bad. That's what a lot of people don't know. Recessions, if people have been saving their money and just waiting, let's say if they wanted to get stock, get into the stock game and get stock in Apple, Microsoft, or some even gas, then what they do is this. That's the perfect time to get some because stock prices are lower in a recession. So that's when you buy. Okay, you don't go crazy, but you do buy because you know if you're patient and you stick with it, it's going to go back up. Okay, and then you can get some of them stocks that you've been eyeing for a long time. So also real estate. Real estate prices usually go down. Nobody's buying, so boom, good time to get into real estate and buy some of that land you've been eyeing. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Um, every situation has a good and a bad. You just have to educate yourself on it and find it. Okay, and that includes recessions. Okay, for instance, a company, let's say Apple. Apple could during a recession, they could take money that it has set aside and actually buy out inexpensive land because the land prices go, real estate goes down. They can buy up tons of land. Okay, because then when things go back to normal, recessions do not last all times, and there's different levels of recession, light recession, heavy recession. Okay, so they do not last forever. All right, most older people right now, my age or even older, and I'm 58. We've been through a recession. They don't last forever. Uh, it's just that people freak out, especially young people that never went through one, freak out. Okay, uh, but recession is good for certain things. If you're looking to buy real estate, good time because the prices usually go down real low. It goes low. Stocks, stock market usually go in the red, so the prices of stocks go low. Amazon, all that stuff, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, or whatever you want to get into, toilet paper, essential goods. That's the perfect time to get some of them stock because it's lower. Okay. Uh, and so you just have to educate yourself on it. All right. So that's it. That's what I want to tell you about recessions, and recessions do not last forever. Uh, Recessions are natural, uh, just like a lot of things in life. Okay, it's a natural part of an economy, and you can make it through one. And if you have money saved, you know how to take advantage of it. Okay, and I mean that in a positive way. All right, and I should talk to y'all later. So that is what, in my opinion, what a recession is. Sure, you can also educate yourself and go more deep into this or that aspect of a recession. They're out there. The information's out there. Educate yourself. Okay, but yeah, do people lay off? Yeah, yeah. Like you wouldn't believe it. They have to. It's an adjustment. Okay, and then when the recession's over, they begin to hire again. Also, the very, very important thing is just because inflation, you can get control of inflation, that is no guarantee that there will not be a recession. Remember that, okay? Two very different aspects of the economy. Sometimes they do affect each other, but one Getting control of one does not guarantee you will not have the other. All right? Peace, y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon.